Welcome to the Restoration Revolution podcast, where we help restore hope and put your family on the road to recovery, one episode at a time. Here's your host and owner of Hazard Clean Restoration, Chad Melanie.
With fentanyl overdoses on the rise, how do professional cleanup crews safely manage these dangerous scenes? Chad Maloney explains what makes fentanyl so hazardous and how his team at Hazard Clean responds. Welcome back, everyone. I'm Sophia Yvette, co-host / producer, back in the studio with Chad Maloney, owner of Hazard Clean Restoration. Chad, how's it going?
It's going well. Thanks for having me, Sophia.
Wonderful. Now, we're hearing more and more about fentanyl in the news. It's actually become a national crisis. How does your team handle this?
Fentanyl, it definitely is a national crisis, Sophia. I mean, it's the leading cause of overdose fatalities when it comes to any kind of opioids, and it really has. It's been a huge issue. I mean, there's a lot. I mean, from I think 21 to 23, 2021, 2023, there's been over about 70,000 unfortunate overdoses or people that have passed away from fentanyl each year. And that averages approximately about 200 a day that die from fentanyl overdose. You know, that's if you do the math, since about 2018, almost about 250,000 Americans have died from fentanyl, and it's right now it's the leading killer of adults from 18 to 45, and so it's surpassed everything, it's definitely an issue. One of the challenges with it is, they put it in so many things that the average person that is thinking they're taking maybe a pill or anything like that, that they become victim of it as well. If it's in any kind of buildings, sometimes people don't realize it's there. Uh, it, it, it's odorless, it's colorless, it's 50 times more potent than heroin and 100 times more potent than morphine. And the scariest thing is that typically you don't know that it's there until it's too late. Basically, just 2 milligrams, which is, they say, like a pinch of salt's not going to hurt anyone or whichever, but a pinch of salt of fentanyl will actually kill you. It's basically enough just to put on the top of a pencil. It's really really scary, and it's turning up everywhere. I mean, it's in homes, hotels, daycares. There's been cases of toddlers that have passed away, and just from crawling on like fentanyl lace carpets and like short-term rentals. There was cases of toddlers being or exposed to fentanyl in city parks. There was even one that made national headlines, but in New York there was one where multiple children overdosed from the residue of fentanyl because they were running some kind of operation out of a bedroom in that area. And it, it's a challenge for not just the United States with so many deaths, but it's also a challenge for the companies that go in and clean it up. Fentanyl can cling, the residue can cling to fabrics, it can get into air vents, it can remain dangerous even if the whole place looks like it's clean. So it looks visually clean, but it's not. And there's been cases of cleaning companies go in to clean an area that looked clean, and the cleaners became exposed to it and died because they went and they started cleaning and they basically aerosolized the fentanyl in the air and breathed it in. And so, from a remediation standpoint and cleaning standpoint, it really prevents a unique challenge. And there's not visual markers. The place will look clean, but unless you have the right tools and know what you're doing, it can be a huge issue, and lives can be lost. That's why we approach fentanyl scenes like hazardous zones. We consider them what we call in forensic restoration biorisk level fives. And our team wears full body suits, triple layer gloves, we wear pappers. We never dry sweep or use dry cleaning techniques or anything. We use wet methods that helps prevent aerosolization. And we also apply special neutralizing chemicals that also reduce the risk for our team when we're in there. Uh, it really is our job to protect that next person, obviously our team members, but we want to make sure that when we're cleaning up that fentanyl, we're doing using the right techniques, tactics, tools, and we go back to our training with that. And it's not just about wiping down surfaces; it's about recognizing that that microscopic residue can kill you. We need to make sure that we're focusing on getting it so clean that they could open a daycare once we're done with it.
Wow. Now, I have to ask, Chad, is it possible for someone to be saved from fentanyl poisoning on site? And if it is, what does that process look like?
So it's a great follow up question. With fentanyl, if someone is exposed to fentanyl or having an overdose, it's fast. Fentanyl, very quickly. Most people that when they become exposed to it, they don't remember if they are brought back, or they're still holding what if they were trying to. If it was someone using drugs, they're usually a lot of times they can be found still holding what they were using because that's how quickly, especially if you breathe it in or smoke it or anything like that. And so you can administer what's called Narcan that will block the opiate receptors, and it'll actually reverse the fentanyl, the effects it's having on the body. And so in situations you give them a dose of Narcan and see if they're coming back. If you can check their breathing, everything else. If not, sometimes you may have to administer multiple doses in order, depending on how much fentanyl that they have either ingested, whatnot. Yes, but if someone is there and they do have Narcan, then yes, you can save someone from fentanyl.
Wow. Thank you for sharing this insight today, Chad. Your team's work truly brings compassion and calm to some of life's toughest moments. We'll see you on your next episode. Have a fantastic rest of your day.
You too. Thank you, Sophia. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for listening to the Restoration Revolution podcast, where recovery starts here. Let us help put your family on the road to recovery. Go to hazardclean.net or call 772-259-5018. That's 772-259-5018.